Hey, what's up, and welcome back to another build tutorial, where today I'm going to show you how to build your own bank in Minecraft. The perfect place to sort out all of your money. And as always, before I start this tutorial, I'd really appreciate a little click on that like button, as it really does help me out, and I'd highly appreciate that. So with all that said, let's start building. Here are all the materials that you will need for this build. And the plot of land you will need is 19 by 29 blocks. So first up, I am going to grab myself some lime terracotta to begin with. And then go into the front left corner just over here. From this point, I'm going to count across 1. And then going to count up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And on that block, I'm going to place some of the terracotta just there. And then I'm just going to extend this by another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, just like so there. And the next, I'm going to leave a gap of 5, and then I'm going to place another 6 just on the other side, like so. And then going to the left hand side, I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 blocks going all the way along like this. And then I'm just going to mirror that on the other side. So placing another strip just to line up with the side over there. And then going to the back, from this point I'm going to place another 5 blocks going outwards. And doing the same thing on the right hand side as well. So you should have 2 gaps of 5 at the front and the back. Just like so there. And the next up, I'm then going to grab myself some grey concrete. And then at the front here, just on the left hand side just here, just going to place 2s like so. Going to leave a gap of 3 and then place another 2. And then going to the back, I'm just going to fill this gap up with the concrete and extending it outwards by another row. And then going to the front here, I'm then going to grab myself a smooth quartz stair and a smooth quartz block. I'm just going to place 3 stairs at the front and then a smooth quartz block just behind them. And then going back to the lime terracotta here, just going on the right hand side, I'm just going to thicken this side up by another block. Just like so here. That'll leave you with something that looks like this. And next up, moving back to the smooth quartz block here, I'm just going to fill this entire area up with all of the quartz, as this is going to form all of the floor for the ground level. So just filling all of this area up. And as you see, that will leave you with something that looks like this. And next up, going back to the grey concrete, from this point I'm going to place another 5, just going up like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then going behind these points, I'm just going to extend each of these out by another 2 blocks. Just like so. Give you 2 walls that look like this. And then just going to the back here, I'm just going to extend this up by another layer. And then adding an extra row, just going inwards. Like that. And then I'm just going to extend this whole area up by another 4 blocks, like so. So just building this whole section, going all the way up. That'll leave you with a nice chunky wall that looks like that. And the next up, going back to the lime terracotta. From this point, I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks going up like that. And then I'm just going to extend this going all the way across, just until I reach this point just over there. So this should give us a nice large wall. That shall leave you with something that looks like this. So you should end up with this nice large wall here. Next up, going back to the grey concrete, just from this point here, I'm going to place 1 just there. And then I'm just going to extend this going all the way across, just until it meets with where the floor is. And then I'm just going to extend this whole row going up, so it's the same height as this green wall here. And the next up, just going to the left, just to this point here, I'm just going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grey concrete going up, just like so. And then going to the back corner, going to do the same thing of placing another 5. And then I'm just going to leave a gap of 4 here, place some grey concrete, gap of 4, place 1, gap of 4, and then place another one. And then I'm just going to extend each of these points going up, so they're 5 blocks high in total. So it should be level with everything else. Next up, I'm then going to grab myself some black stained glass panes and also a deep slate tile wall. I'm going to make the front doors to begin with, so from this point, I'm going to place one bit of glass there, leave a gap, place another bit of glass, and on top of each pane, I'm going to add a wall, and then with the black stained glass, I'm just going to place 3 on top of each wall there, which will give us some nice double doors. Oh, and before I continue, let's quickly go back to the grey concrete, and just in this gap here, we are just going to place 4 grey concrete like so, and build this up, as this is going to be a solid wall. And then going back to the glass, firstly, I'm just going to fill all of these different windows up. So starting at the front, let's fill this little section up. Just building it up until it aligns with the height of everything else. And then let's do the next window. Just like so, so that will complete the front windows. And then next, I'm just going to fill in all of these side windows as well. And that'll leave you with something that looks like this. And I'm going to the back, just filling in this final window, just there. Just like so. Next up, let's take care of some of the interior walls. So just from this middle point just here, I'm just going to, from this point, count across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On that 6th block, I'm going to place some grey concrete like so. I'm just going to build this up so it's a pillar of 5 blocks. And then going behind it, I'm just going to extend that by another 2 rows, just like so. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 2, place another pillar of 5, and then just extending this all the way to the back. Just like so there. And then just go into this wall, and just to this point, I'm just going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks going across. And then I'm just going to extend that up again so it's level with everything else. And the next up, I'm then going to grab myself some light grey concrete. And then I'm just going to place 2 blocks just there, and then extend this across all the way along. And the next, I'm going to add some extra doors. So firstly, on the left here of this little gap, I'm going to place 1 bit of glass, followed by a deep slate tile wall, and then 3 glass just on the top. And then going to this other little doorway, I'm just going to place 1 bit of glass there, deep slate tile, 3 bits of glass, just like so. And next up, I'm going to add some glass here because this is going to be where the bank cashiers are going to be. So firstly, again with the black stained glass panes, I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 glass going up on the left hand side, and then placing 4 going up on the right hand side. And then I'm going to leave a gap just from the left, and then I'm going to place 2 glass in the middle. And then I'm just going to build that up just to the top. And then on the left, I'm going to place another bit of glass. On the right, placing another bit of glass, just like so there. And then finally adding another bit of glass just underneath, just like so. As you see, by doing that, that will give us the main structure of the bottom floor. Next up, going back to the grey concrete. From this point, I'm going to place 3 going across, and then I'm just going to extend this just until I reach the other side of kind of like the entrance area, just there. And then with the lime terracotta, just from this point, I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots going across, just like that. And then from this point, extending this, going all the way along the green wall. And from this point, placing another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, just like so. And then going back to the grey concrete, I'm just going to extend this section up by another bit. And then going back to the lime terracotta from this point, placing another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. And then from this point, placing another row going all the way down, just until one block is sticking out, just here. And then going around, just placing another row to join up with this middle point. That'll leave you with something that looks like this. Next up, going back to the grey concrete, just from this point here, I'm going to place a whole row going across just until I meet the back. Just like so. And then going to the front here, from this point, I'm going to place 4 blocks on the left. And then I'm going to place another 5 just on the right, like so. And next up, just going to this middle point just here, I'm going to place another bit of grey concrete, and I'm just going to extend this going all the way across to the other side. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more grey concrete just in this gap. And the next, going back to the smooth quartz block, I'm just going to fill the remaining area here up with all of it. And that'll leave you with something that looks like this. Next up, going back to the lime terracotta, just going to the front left corner just here, I'm just going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks going up, just like so. And then I'm just going to extend this point going all the way across, just until I meet at the end over there. That'll leave you with a nice large green wall that looks like this. And the next up, with this grey concrete here, I'm just going to place 5 going along, and extending that by another 2 rows. And I'm just going to extend this area by another 4 blocks going up. That'll leave you with a nice thick wall, just like that. And the next up, with this grey concrete, from this point, I'm going to place 5 going up. And then I'm just going to extend this going all the way across, just until I meet that point just there. That'll create a nice large grey wall, which will look something like this. And then just going to the back here, with this grey concrete, I'm just going to place 3 rows of 5, just like so, to build this little bit up. And then I'm just going to build this section up by another 4 layers going up. It's basically just doing the same thing that we did at the front, which will leave you with a nice large wall like this. Just at the back here, I'm going to leave a gap of 4, and then place in 5 grey concrete going up in a pillar. And the next, I'm going to leave a gap of 4, then place another 5 grey concrete. I'm just going to keep repeating this another 1, 2, just 3 more times, like so, which will give us 5 pillars in total. And then I'm just going to fill all of these gaps up with some more black stained glass. So just going to start with the front ones to begin with. Just filling in the whole gap up. That'll cover the front windows, and then filling in all of the side ones as well. Which will leave you with something that looks like that. And then filling in the back window as well. And the other back one. And the next up, sticking with the grey concrete, just going to this wall here. Just in the middle, I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks going along. I'm just going to build that up by another 3 layers. Just like so. And then, starting on the left, I'm going to leave a gap of 2 and place another 4 grey concrete. And I'm just going to build that up so it's level with this wall. And then doing the same thing just on the other side. Just like so. And the next, I'm going to add some more doors. So with the black glass, starting on the left-hand side, placing 1 pane there, deep slate tile wall on top, and then 2 more bits of glass on top of that wall. And then just doing the same thing on the other side, just like so. And next up, I'm going to add some stairs. So with the grey concrete, from this point, I'm going to place one bit of grey concrete there. I'm just going to place another one under it, and then placing another one, and then another one down. So I'm just going to create like this zigzag pattern going diagonally down, just like so. And then I'm just going to do the same thing whilst leaving a gap in the middle. That'll form the main shape of our staircase. And in the middle, with some more smooth quartz stairs, just placing the stairs in the middle there, just like so. And the next, with some black stained glass panes. From this point, I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going up, and then placing another one, and then placing more just going to the right hand side, just like so. Next up, I'm just going to create the dollar sign for the entrance of the bank here. So for that, I'm going to grab myself some smooth quartz slabs. So with these slabs, just going to the middle point here, I'm just going to count up 1, 2. On the bottom, I'm just going to place one slab like that. Then I'm going to add another slab on top, followed by one on either side. And then I'm going to place 2 just on the right, and then 2 just going to the left. And then placing another 1, 2 on the left, placing another 2 on the right, and then finally placing 1 just on the top, just like so, which will give us a dollar sign. Next up, going back to the lime terracotta, from this point I'm going to place one block there. I'm just going to extend this going all the way across, just to the back, like so. And then just from this point here, I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks going across. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the back. So from this point, placing another 5 blocks going across. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 5, and then I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks going across like that. And then doing the same thing at the front, placing another 6 blocks just here. And then just from this end point at the front, I'm just going to extend that going all the way across to connect with the back, just like so. And the next, just from this point, I'm just going to place loads of green terracotta going across just to meet the back there. And then doing the same thing on the other side. And the next up, I'm just going to fill both of these areas in with all of the lime terracotta, just to form 2 flat roofs here. And next up, with the lime terracotta, I'm just going to place 5 going across like that, and then another 5 at the back, just like so. And then just starting at the front, I'm just going to leave a gap of 4 and then place another row of 5. I'm just going to repeat this just another 2 more times, which will give us 4 big skylights. But next, we're going to need to make these skylights a little bit smaller. So to do this, I'm just going to add 4 terracotta just on the left, and then another 4 just on the right, just like so. And the next up, I'm then going to grab myself some black stained glass. I'm just going to fill all of the skylights up with all of it here. So that will leave you with some finished skylights, just like so. And the next, just to finish the roof off, with this grey concrete, firstly, I'm just going to place another 10 blocks, just extending this bit up. And then I'm going to place another 10 on top of that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so placing 10, and then another 10 to extend this bit of the wall up. And the next up, just from this point here, I'm just going to place a whole row of grey concrete going along to meet the back, and doing the same thing just on the other side, just like so, which will complete the roof. So with the roof done, that is the main building for the bank all complete. Now it's time to just add all of the extra details and stuff. So for this, firstly, I'm just going to grab myself some smooth stone. And then just from this point here, I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 blocks. Just going all the way across, just like so. And the next, just from this left-hand side here, I'm just going to replace all of the green wall, so all of the border that I showed you earlier. Just going to replace all of that with this smooth stone, going all the way around. Just until I meet with this bit of smooth stone just there. And then I'm just going to go to the back, where I'm just going to fill in these bits of grass with some more stone as well. Just like so. And then going back to the front here, I'm just going to replace the rest of this green border with some more of the stone. And then filling in this grass with some more stone as well. So next up, I'm just going to add some cash points on the outside of this bank here. So for that, firstly, I'm going to grab myself some smooth quartz. I'm going to grab myself a dropper. I'm going to grab myself an item frame. And a gold ingot. I'm also going to grab myself a pressure plate. Stone one. A stone button. A painting. Just do the random variant. And then, finally, smooth quartz stairs. So for the first cash point, which is going to go on the left-hand side here. From this point, I'm going to place 2 smooth quartz. And then I'm just going to add a dropper on the left, followed by smooth quartz on the right. And then going to add 4 quartz going up, followed by 2 stairs at the front. And the next, I've got this stone pressure plate. I'm going to place 1 pressure plate on top of the dropper. And then a button next to it. Then add an item frame just on the right. Oh, that's not an ingot. I need an ingot. Well, let's get the gold ingot quick. With the gold ingot, let's just place 1 there. And the next, for the screen with a painting, I'm just going to place 1 there. And that'll complete the first... Oh no, the cash point won't be complete without adding some money. So I'm just going to fill that with some gold there. So as you see, as you press the button, you'll get some nice gold. Next up, I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side, just mirroring that design. So firstly, with a smooth quartz block, just place 2 in the middle. And I'm going to place a dropper on the right hand side this time, with a smooth quartz block on the left. And then I'm just going to add 4 smooth quartz, just going up like so. And then I'm going to add 2 smooth quartz stairs just at the top. And then I'm just going to place 1 button on the left, followed by a pressure plate next to it. And then I'm going to add an item frame there with some gold in. And then with this painting, I'm just going to add another screen. And then finally, let's fill this cash point up with some more gold, just like so there. So that'll give us our 2 machines. And then just for some extra detail, I'm going to add a few plants and stuff. So for that, I'm going to grab myself a fern. And first, I'm just going to place 1 on the left, on the right. And I'm going to place another 2 just there. And then I'm going to add some flowers. So I'm going to choose some nice lilies here. If I can spell it. There we are. And then I'm just going to place, firstly, 1 on the right. And then 1 on each side of this machine, just like so. And then finally, for some extra detail at the back, I'm going to grab myself some oak leaves. I'm going to place 5 going along the bottom there, followed by 3 like that, and then 1 on the left for a nice little bush at the back there. So yeah, with all of the extra details added, that is all of the exterior of the bank fully decorated. So now we can move on to decorating all of this interior. So first, I'm just going to add some of the main lights here. So for that, I'm going to grab myself a chain, a lantern, and I'm also going to grab myself an iron trapdoor. Firstly, just from this point, I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 chains going down, leaving a gap of 3, placing another 4 chains. And then underneath each of the chains, I'm going to add a lantern. And then I'm just going to add a trapdoor underneath each lantern, like so. That'll give us 2 of the main lights. And then I'm going to add 2 lights up here. So I'm just going to place 1 lantern just on each side there, with a trapdoor underneath. Next up, I'm just going to get the queuing system put in for the bank cashiers. So firstly, I'm just going to grab myself some black stained glass panes. Firstly, from this point, I'm going to count across 1, 2 blocks. And then I'm just going to place 1 pane just there. Followed by another 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. And then I'm going to leave a gap and then place another one. And then I'm going to place 1, 2 just going down there. Followed by another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from this point, I'm going to go down 2. And then I'm going to place another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from this point, placing 1, 2, just like so. And as you see, that'll give you a nice little queuing system just there. And then for a bit of extra decoration, I'm now going to show you how to add some money banners just along that wall there. So for this, all you're going to need is 3 line banners, 6 green dye, and 1 loom. So if we place the loom down, I'm just going to add the banners and the dye in. I'm just going to do 1 green border going around, followed by a dot in the middle. And then all you got to do is repeat that another 2 times. And then just from this middle point here, just going to place 1 banner just there. And then leaving a 1 gap either side, I'm just going to place another 2 banners like so. So that'll give us some nice money posters for that extra little bit of decoration. So next up, let's decorate the cashier office here. So first up, I'm going to grab myself some item frames. I'm just going to put 2 just there. And then I'm going to grab myself a gold nugget and a gold ingot. And I'm just going to place 1 nugget there and a gold ingot there, just to look like some money. And the next, I'm then going to grab myself a pressure plate and a painting. I'm going to add 2 laptops here. So if we start on the left hand side, let's add a pressure plate there. Let's add another pressure plate on the right. And then I'm just going to place 2 temporary blocks and add a painting, just like so. So that will give us the 2 laptops. And then for some chairs, I'm going to grab myself a smooth stone slab. Let's place just 2 slabs down like that. And then I'm also going to grab myself an iron door. Let's just place 1 behind each of these slabs. And then I'm going to grab myself a green banner. I'm going to place 1 banner in front of each of these doors, just like so. And I'm also going to grab myself a little torch for a bit of extra lighting, and I'm just going to put 1 by the door there. And then next, going into this little space, because this is where the safe is going to be, where all the money is going to be kept. So firstly, I'm just going to grab myself some grey shulker boxes, some light grey ones. Firstly, I'm just going to place 9 along there for some cabinets. And the next, for the safe itself, I am going to grab myself firstly some polished andesite. I'm just going to place 8 on the bottom like so, followed by 6 on each side, and then 4 just at the top in the middle there. And the next, I'm going to grab myself some iron doors. I'm just going to place 2 doors in the middle. And then this shall be followed by a lever, which I'm going to put on each side. And then I'm also going to grab myself, well, firstly place another item frame on each side. And then inside, I'm going to grab myself a lime stained glass pane. And I'm just going to place that in each item frame, because that's going to be like a little kind of like hand scanner for that extra bit of security. If you open these levers, I'm just going to fill the safe with loads of stuff. So I'm going to grab myself some blocks of gold to begin with. I'm just going to put 3 like that. And then I'm also going to grab myself 3 item frames, put some in there. And then with the gold ingots, let's just fill them up like so. So that is the safe all filled up with money. And then we can just close it like so. And then for an extra bit of light, let's just grab ourselves another torch. Place 1 there. So that'll complete the cashier area. And next up, for a little bit of extra decoration, I'm going to add a little bit of bush decoration just here. So for that, I am going to grab myself some oak leaves, and I'm also going to grab myself a flowering azalea leaves. And then firstly, just from this point here, so starting from there, going diagonally down by 1, I'm going to place some oak leaves there. Then I'm going to place another one, followed by some azalea, and then 3 oak leaves. And then going to the second level, some flowery leaves, and then 2 oak leaves, some more flowery leaves, leaving a gap, and then some flowery leaves. And then finally for the last level, 2 oak leaves, and then 1 flowery leaf on the end there. That'll give us a nice bit of bush decoration. And the next up, moving on to the personal banker area, which will be down here. So for this, firstly, let's grab myself some light grey concrete. Starting from this point here, let's just place 6 like so. And then placing another 6 on the left-hand side. So there should be a gap of 3 just in the middle there. And then for some chairs, let's grab myself a smooth stone slab. And I'm just going to place 3 slabs just around the table like so. Just like that. And then next, I'm going to grab myself an iron door. And I'm just going to place one of these behind each of these slabs. Just like so there. And then I'm also going to grab myself a green banner. And I'm just going to place a banner in front of each of these doors. Just to finish those off. And then finally, I'm just going to add some laptops. So let's grab a polished black stone pressure plate, a painting, and also a birch sign just here. So for this, let's just place a black stone slab there, and then the birch sign behind it, followed by a painting in front. And then just doing the same thing, just like so. Depending on the version of Minecraft you're on, you might need to shift when placing the sign on the pressure plate. I'm not too sure. But yeah, but as you see, that'll add some laptops, and that'll just add a nice little personal banking area there. And then for some extra shelving, I'm just going to grab myself some green carpets. And I'm just going to place 3 going along like that. And then just stacking them just like so. Just add another level there. So there should be 5 levels of carpet. And then for some extra lighting, let's just grab ourselves another torch. And let's just place 1 torch on each side of this doorway here for a little bit more light. But yeah, that basically completes the ground level. So now moving on to the first floor up here. So this is going to be where all of the kind of like offices are for the more complex money arrangements. So things like loans and stuff. So there's going to be 2 offices up here. So firstly, let's just add some nice little plants for a little bit more of decoration here. So I'm just going to add a cauldron just on each side to begin with. And then I'm going to grab myself some oak leaves, and I'm just going to place 2 leaves on top of each cauldron, just like so. And the next, I'm then going to grab myself some polished andesite stairs, and I'm just going to place 2 next to each cauldron. And then I'm then going to grab myself some green carpet, and I'm just going to place, from this point, firstly 5 going along, followed by another 5. So that'll complete kind of that waiting area. And then let's decorate the offices. So let's start with this right one just here. So for the office, firstly, let's grab a white shulker box. And firstly, I'm just going to place 3 in the corner there. And the next, I'm going to grab myself some grey concrete. And I'm just going to place 3 going along. And then I'm going to add some more smooth stone slabs because we're going to be adding some more chairs here. So let's add 3. And then I'm going to grab myself an iron door. Let's just place 1 behind each of these slabs, followed by some more green banners as well. And then one final detail, let's add another laptop. So let's get the polished black stone pressure plate, a birch sign, and also another painting as well. Let's place the pressure plate there, followed by a birch sign, and then a painting just in front. Oh, hello. Let's just make sure we get the right painting. There we are. And then for a bit of extra light, let's just add an extra little torch just on the wall there. So that'll give us the first little office area. And then let's do the same thing. Well, let's mirror what we've done there on the other side. So again, let's grab some white shulker boxes again. And let's just place 3 in the corner there. And then let's get some more light grey concrete. Let's add 3 going along. And then let's grab some more smooth stone slabs. And let's just place 3 like so. And then let's also grab ourselves another iron trapdoor. And let's just place 3 behind each of these slabs. And then again, let's add some banners in front of these doors. And then finally, let's add a blackstone pressure plate there. With a birch sign behind it. And a paint. Oh, let's add a temporary block. And a painting in front for another computer there. And then finally, let's add some more lighting with another torch. Just like so. But yeah, so with the offices on the first floor all done, that is the interior of the bank all complete. So now here's a little bonus part of the video for those on creative mode and in Java Edition. To add a little bit of extra detail to the bank, you can get yourself a custom head which looks like money. And if you don't know how to get custom heads, I will show you now. So if you head over to minecraftheads.com, there are lots of custom heads to choose from. Down here you can search for any head you want. So for example, I might want a camera. And as you see, there are loads of options here. So once you've clicked on one of the links below my videos, so when you're on the page of the head you want, if you just go down here, you'll see a give code section, just like so. And then just choose the correct version of Minecraft you're in. And then if you just copy that, and then if you give yourself a command block by doing /give@p command_block, that will give you a command block. And then just copy the code you got from the website in here. And then just get a button, activate the command block, and that'll give you a custom head. So that's how you get them. The link to this head will be in the description for those of you who want to use it. So with this money head, what I'm going to do in the bank, I'm just going to make a few little alterations. So firstly, we can just replace these gold nuggets with these little money heads, and we can also replace kind of like all the gold with some money. So as you see, we now have the cents money. And then we can also replace these with some money as well. So we can just place them down. And then if we go into the safe, instead of using gold, you can get rid of this. Oh, without destroying the building. And then instead, I'm just going to grab myself some green wool. I'm just going to place 3 down instead. Well, actually, let's just place 2. And then I'm just going to add 2 money heads like so. But yeah, so I hope you did enjoy this tutorial, and I hope you are pleased with the final result. But yeah, so until next time, thanks for watching, and have a good day.